to bleed on me? I'm invincible! You're a loony. The Black Knight's always triumphs!
Welcome one, welcome all, and it is that time for Roundtable Live here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. Be rolling on till 4 a.m. in the morning Eastern Time. New ideas, different hosts every night, different subjects every night. You never know what's going to happen right here at the Roundtable Live. King Arthur has nothing on us. We're going around and around.
Hello, hello, good morning, good evening, wherever you are from, across the nation, around the world. This is Dorrie Barr with my host, JustinTime. So it's JustinDorrieTime. And we just want to say hello to everyone and thank you for joining. I have to do this first, that we are 100% listener-supported radio and that we could not do what we do without all of you. So we're so grateful for all that you do. Please continue your support, and you could do that by going to freedomslips.com and clicking on the support button, and you have many options to choose from. They have tons of stuff to go through that you could buy, do, and get things out of. So it's kind of a great way to donate. And we thank you again for your support. And welcome to Thursday, September 4th, our time, and a lot of people are in the 5th right now. But what's going on, Justin?
It's JustinDorrieTime. And no, this is not a roundtable hour, so please don't start flooding the switchboard with calls. Doing great. You know, I was looking at the audio archives earlier today, and yeah, I'm still in it. I thought I can't remember if I'm still in it. But oh my God, you should see all the MP3 files listed in there. So if you're looking for a way to support Revolution Radio, be part of the family, feel like part of freedomslips.com, that's the best way. Go to freedomslips.com, and if you're looking at upper right-hand corner all the way to the right, you'll see a button called Named Archives. Just click on it. And all you got to do is put in a username, a password, and an email address, and you'll be a member. It's only $4.95 a month. That's about 6 cents a day, and you'll have access to all the audio archives from the shows that are broadcast here on Revolution Radio. I think that's a pretty good deal, don't you, Dorrie?
Absolutely, sir. Also, we'd like to say a big thank you to Studio A for Major Tom and Keith AZ and his guests tonight, and also Studio B, my Jojo K, and his good friend Michael. We thank you all, and it was great radio tonight. It was kind of, I couldn't decide. I listened to both, so just doing a shout out.
There you go. And yeah, Joe and Michael are great guys. I was listening in there.
It was fun, yeah. I'm so glad they called me. Yeah, it was cool to be invited. I was very humbled by that, so it was very nice. And hopefully, you never know, they might call in at the break so we can chit-chat with them more. They're really cool guys, and it's nice to have somebody on the same page as us, you know.
Oh, yeah. So, what's on the menu tonight? We're sitting here looking.
Everything. What do you want to go through first?
Oh,
you want to do the call number now or wait later until...
we'll wait till the second hour.
Not a problem.
We got a lot to talk about.
Well, we're going to talk about dreams, number one. We're going to talk about energy, too, because I know all my friends are going through a really hard time right now, and it's kind of bugging me. So maybe if I help you out with a little bit of stuff, and you just kind of take it or leave it. It's totally up to you. If you feel a resonance to this, take it. And if you don't, you guys, it's not a big deal. But it might help you out because I think there's 3 stages of us that are going on right now. And if you didn't hear Studio B, that's what I kind of discussed a little bit. And a lot of us already went through all this stuff, the sleeping, the loss of job, whatever it was. The energy is crazy, sadness, friendships, relationships. It can go on and on. Whatever you can think of, I understand the concept.
So even a lot of people out there experiencing illness.
Yeah, actually, it is illness. I do it to my organs, so I understand it. But a lot of them are getting sick, like with the flu. They think they don't feel good, and it's actually they're going through this change. And some people handle the energy different than others. And a lot of people handle it with sickness, flu, surgeries, you name it, they go through. They think they have an illness or cancer, and that's not true. Usually it's not cancer. So heads up. And usually it is a major organ because you held that in for so long and the organ's got to go. It's actually your spirit lifting. So you're just, a spirit being having a human experience, but sometimes those organs really have to go because they held a lot of crap in them, if that makes any sense. I'm just going to say it like it is. So now people are getting the flu and they don't feel good, and it's because of the changes. Kids move out, they come back home. Things are going on with your husband, they're not. If you're not married, you are married. People don't know. They want to be with somebody, they don't. There's just things going on that people just don't know where they're coming from. And it's not your fault. There's so many energies going on right now that you're getting mixed signals. And that means the other side is doing their job. They really are they're trying to do their best, but they're not going to win, obviously, because it's time. We've been dealing with them for thousands of years, so it's about time that we take over this one. But don't feel bad. And if you're feeling sick and you're feeling lonely and you're just not feeling quite kind of right, you're doing the right thing. You're actually going through this process. Like I said, there's 3 parts to all of this, 3 stages to everything in life, as you know. So a lot of us already did that. Some of you are sleeping a lot. You're tired. A lot of us aren't eating. Loss of appetite. That's like number 1. Numero uno. Number 2, people don't want to leave their houses. A lot of you are working inside, home computers, things like that. And then the illness is starting to come now. This is for the 3rd phasers. These are kind of what we call the youngins because they're the last group to follow through. They decided to join the train, but they wanted to come at the end, the very end. This is what we call the procrastinators of the group, which I'm making fun of because I am so the procrastinator, but they hit me up like 12 years ago, so obviously I couldn't procrastinate. But I understand where you guys are coming from. So I just want to give you like a little heads up about what's going on, why it's going on, and kind of what we're going through. So hopefully it makes sense to some of you. What do you think, Justin? Do I have a chance? Or no? I'll make this sound normal? And like, excuse my pronunciation because I could speak better in Italian than I can in English, but...
Give it to Gamo.
Right? Come. Let's see. We're Homo sapiens now, and we're going to be, and I have to pronounce this properly, we're going to be Homo no ticus. So we're changing...
Homo no ticus.
Ticus, yes. So we're changing from one kind of species to another, basically. And that's doing with our DNA upgrade and everything else, because you can't be a Homo sapien 3D and move into 4th D and have the same name. So you're actually changing to what you should have been all along, but because we were dumbed down for so many centuries, now we're changing it to this Homo ni ticus is what I want to say. It's Homo, H-O-M-O, Noeticus. So if I'm pronouncing it correctly, forgive me, because that's just how I roll. I pronounce everything incorrectly. So we're being upgraded. So I've been told. We're being upgraded. Great. And you're getting, we started getting activated, especially now, at pubescent at the age of 12 and 13. So anybody in this lifetime, a lot of us from 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and go up. We've been started upgrade at pubescent, so 12 or 13. That's been a long time. I think it started hitting us heavy in the 40s, a lot of us in the 50s, and so on and so forth. So you know who you are.
60s,
Every wave comes
70s,
in. Well, yes, but those are totally different. The 70s are a totally different species. They'll never be this new upgrade because they're going to leave. They don't want to be around. Or they just want to be around to watch. They just really don't want to be in this. And nobody can blame them. And a lot of souls are just leaving the planet completely. Like, I'm out. I didn't sign up for this. I didn't want to be a part of it. Either way, homeo this, homeo that, I'm out. And a lot of them leave. And I totally understand that concept as well. So a lot of us that are still here, I'm just going to talk to the ones of us that are still here, obviously, because talking to the dead really is a waste of my time.
Well, and I think this is where a lot of this energy is being misdirected, Dorrie. It seems like so many people that I've heard speak, especially on some type of alternative media, are so concerned about, waking up the masses, waking up the sheeple. I don't like that word, making people aware. And I just kind of want to slap them and say, hello, they're not interested. They don't want to be woken up. They don't want to be aware. They just want to ignore it all and think, hey, everything's just cool.
Well, there's no reason for it. They didn't sign up for it. You
That's
can't
right.
think because you're going through the change that everybody's going to go. Like I said, there's 3 waves. And the 4th wave is the ones that don't want anything to do with it. They agree to stay here, work, still stay in the bubble, and they're doing that for our benefit. They're actually doing it to help us. And I'm sure I'm going to go back to the Nazis and the Jews. I said it like a million times.
Mm-hmm.
The Germans are the one that hurt the most in the afterlife. It wasn't the Jews. So you have to understand. They agreed to come down. They agreed to go through this concept, deal with the pain. Yes, we're all spirit beings. We came down here to play a game. That's what we're doing. But the ones that are going to stay here and be in this fog, that they're still in that bubble, let them do it because that's what they signed up for. You can't argue with that. You can't make somebody do something. They're going to think you're crazy. They're not going to understand what you're physically, mentally, and emotionally going through. It's never going to happen. Don't waste your time. Stop telling people to go to church and all that. It's not going to work. You can't have another person's evolution and or spiritual adventure and tell them how to run it or go through it or do it. It's just not going to happen. It's never going to happen. But they will come to you for advice. And when they do, you smile and give them the best advice you have. Not the way you're going through because it didn't work. Unless they ask you personally, hey, I'm going through this. Can you help me? Then you know those are the ones that need to go through it. And we're here to piggyback. We're here to help everyone. You know, whoever comes in our way, I just take things one day at a time. And now I just don't even plan for things anymore. I'm like, the best new adventure that comes to me is tonight. I'm right here, right now. And that's where I want to be, in the now.
There you go.
I don't look for future stuff like I used to. I was so into the future. My whole life, I had to be the best at everything. Do this, I was just gung-ho, and I had to. For what, though? It was a kind of an empty promise. You could have all the money in the world. It was still an empty promise. Not that money's a bad thing. I'm saying that was my goal. But then I knew I was different, and it kept nagging me to help others. And I kind of was caught in between a rock and a hard place, I think, probably like my early 40s to today. So I get the point now. You know, I understand that.
Well, I think what the problem is, Dorrie, you know, with a lot of people out there is that, you know, you come down here and you get into this life and you're programmed, you know, you're taught by your parents. They teach you the best that they know how. And so you plan for the future, but as you get older, you know, and you start getting into those 20s, those 30s, you know, your focus goes other places, and it seems like, you know, a lot of the talk I hear today, it's almost like we're planning for the future for something bad to happen, you know. It's that fear, which I've said many times, you know, false evidence appearing real. There's no proof. You know, I hear people giving out dates and months during the year and, oh, this is going to happen. And people really get wound up and just get, you know, crazy about it. And they find some other way to escape that energy. They go out drinking, get drunk, you know, or go out and get just wasted, have 3 or 4 joints. You know, it's this. That's why it's so important to stay in the here and the now.
Absolutely, but you have to respect them all. And if you want to drink, and that's what you do, it's still fun. You want to smoke, whatever you smoke, and you know what I'm talking about. That's still fun
sure.
Too. But that's their gig. Like, that's how they handle their energy. And then eventually it doesn't work anymore. But sometimes some people need that ladder. I'm not going to say, oh, you're doing the wrong thing. Don't do that. No, I'm not a guru. You know, no. I'm not an apostle or anything like that. The chosen one. I'm saying to you, everything is okay. And if you hear a few things here tonight that kind of resonate with you, then just use that energy and focus it on whatever you want. But understand we all get it because we've all been there. And the 3 phases, we're all going through the same thing. I lost organs last year. I understand the concept for any of you out there who's going through surgery or toothache. That was a good one. Should my mother be proud of the private school I went to? Because it's recorded now, so I'm sure she's going to shoot me in the head. Here goes your retirement and your inheritance. Toothache. Ooh, you go, girl. My mom's so proud. I love you, Ma, because I know you're going to listen and donate. You said, as long as you can hear it, you'll donate. So that's what we're talking on here and recording it. And my aunts, too, by the way. I'm hitting you up, too, suckers. So, sorry, you guys. I know you don't understand it, but it's a long story. I had to give a shout-out to the folks. but we're all going through a real change. And if that's what you want to do, and if that's what you guys are into, that's cool too. You're just going through it in a slower stage.
True.
But you have years, not a lot of years, but we have a few more years. I think like probably 2000. I'm not going to give you a date and time. I think like 2017, 18 is when you can't pick your trains anymore. And I use a train concept because I think we're all on trains and we keep jumping our trains, you know? Mm-hmm. Oh, we had this lover, this boyfriend, this husband, this life, da-da-da-da, and we keep jumping trains going, that train didn't work out for me. I want to go to train B. And now we're probably on train Z going, wow, what one was my favorite? God, I don't remember. Freaking so many trains now. What train did I take that I really liked? But now those trains are starting to speed up. And we're like, we better hop on a train soon at the one we really want to be. Because once those trains start getting up to full speed, it's over. That means that's going to go in that direction. You're on the train no matter what, and you're going to live that experience. So it's the experience you want to have, and it's the stuff that you're learning now that give you, hey, I kind of like understand what she's saying. She might be crazy, but maybe she's right about the train thing, that we could jump on and off on any train we want to right now, whether it's the drinking and drug train or it's the perfectly straight train and you don't do nothing and you're miserable. Sorry, kids, but, you know, I mean, we are humans. We're here to have an experience. So I think, you know, the finer things in life sometimes are good. Things are good in moderation. Use it as you wish. But everything's always behind you. Can't smoke, can't drink. What do? You know, when you hear that song, it's like, I'm a smoker. And I have a couple of beers. So you want to crucify me, fine. But that's my life. It's how I control my life. It doesn't control me. I enjoy certain things in my life. And that's how I'm going to stay.
There's so many of them out there, Dorrie. It's hilarious. I mean, it you know, it has a lot to do with your age, you know, where you may be at geographically. My gosh, you could be in your mid-20s and you want to jump on that train where, hey, I got laid this week. You know, there's
right. There's so many to choose from. Like I said, A to Z.
But it's like you're in a subway, and you know, one just starts chugging by, and there goes that electric sucker, and there it's gone, and pretty soon they, like you said, they're getting a little faster. Wait a minute, I thought that one was supposed to stop right here. And it just, yeah, the momentum just increases and increases, and pretty soon, ain't none of them going to be stopping there, and you're going to be standing scratching your head saying,
Well, they have a couple of years. I think they'll get it. I think we all need to help the ones that ask for help. And remember, kids, this is from way back when we didn't remember anything. Remember, you're dumbed down as soon as you come here. Come here with no memory whatsoever. That's another program. You know, it's kind of like the go into the light. That's another program. I think there's so many programs that we're so screwed that we're so smart and we're so powerful that there's a whole other realm that we're actually dealing with, because the babies are the ones that we have to worry about. These are the babies we have to bring up because they're the ones with the power. They can heal water. They can heal time, space, the air. No more chemtrails, no more GMOs. They can heal all of that. And what do? Let's shoot them up. That's the first thing we do. Dumb them down and give them GMOs. Yay.
well,
How
it's
exciting.
big boys that are worried. The big boys are scared to death.
Well, the big boys, like I said, and I said on Joe's show, I don't know if anybody heard that, but we take them with us because it's their fantasy and our reality. We actually pull them with us. So if we upgrade, they have to come with us. They have no choice. They cannot stay behind.
Nah,
The more drama you hear, the more pain, fear, and everything else. It's their propaganda to stop us from thinking where we need to go. We forget what train we're on. And I know I've been there, going, am I screwed up, or did I miss something? And I stopped listening to that. I really did. I don't have time for that crap in my life. I don't miss it. I haven't listened to the news in years. I don't miss it. I don't want to be in fear anymore with that. I got enough stuff going on in my own life. And it always works out now, because now I'm going, wow, I think I have the power of my own life. Who would have thunk it? You actually have the power over your own life. Whatever you decide to do is right. Whatever you decide to do is correct. Remember that. Even all the bad things that are going on the planet, and they're bad things on every second, every minute, every hour, every day of this planet. There's horrible things happening to bring down Mother Earth and bring down her energy, and we're trying to lift up, and it's still bringing it down. But there is like a bright side to the end of this, that if you understood why this is happening to us and what we signed up for, maybe it will make sense to you. because it took me a long time because I think I was pretty PO'd. For years, I was pissed. I was like, they're never going to get it, and then you start losing all your friends, and they're not in the same energy that you are, and I knew what energy I was in my whole life, different, obviously. Everybody that knows me knows I'm, a wackadoo. But it was my energy. I knew my energy was something different. But then when you start seeing your friends leave for 15, 20, 25 years, you're like, uh-oh, this is the change they talked about. Some stay, some leave. It wasn't actually you left a planet. What do they talk about? How do you say in English? It's the rapture? Is that what they said?
That's what, yeah.
Yeah, when you go up and the other ones stay down, that's not it. You go up in spirit on the same planet, and the other ones stay the way they are. And I was so mad one day. I'm like, why, God? If there is a God, I call it, my creator of all, the source of all.
That's right.
Why is this happening? And I kind of got the feeling like, because it is. They need to stay where they're staying. You taught them everything you could. Now you're moving on to do your thing. And everything's good. And I'm like, so I shouldn't feel guilty that I'm moving on to a different experience and they're going to stay in their experience? And now I'm starting to get it that, hey, let them watch TV or do whatever they're doing, let them do. If they've been like that their whole lives and they never had an opportunity to change it, they didn't ask for it.
Probably.
It has to be pre-planned. Yeah, but who are we to break someone's stones and say, you got to listen to me, don't go to church, don't do this, there's GMOs, there's chemtrails. Who are we to bombard? Imagine saying that to your friend that you've known forever, and they're so dumbfounded about life in general, like, huh? You're crazy. You cray-cray girl, I don't want to talk to you. You're nuts. You're smoking something, and that's exactly what they're going to say. Because their energy is still not on that level as ours. So you can't push it on people. So when people say, everybody's got to wake up, no, that's not true. Because you're pushing something on someone that they already signed up for this gig to stay where they are. And they signed up for it. And we got to say, hey, thank you so much for signing up for that gig, that you're making the planet still run while we try to figure out what the hell waking up is in the first place and try to help other people. Because we need people to run the planet as well. Well, it's the truth. Because most of us don't have jobs now. And if you all look around.
Oh, yeah.
So things changed. Well, if we all changed, and then nothing would happen. But I think some of us were brave enough to even say, and the ones that are staying behind are braver than me, I think. And that takes a lot to go through that. Maybe they'll have to do it another 10,000 lifetimes. Who knows? Whatever they agreed to. But I think it's cool for all of us. We're all winners in this. It's not, and yes, there's baby killers, and there's rapists, and murderers, and we know this. But they're playing their part as well. And I know it sounds horrible. And, I hate to break it to you, vegetarians, plants are living organisms as well. So are animals. It's all the same thing. Doesn't make a difference. They both have feelings. Plants are the same thing as water. Water has feelings, just as we're 50 to 70% water, or even more. Some bodies are different.
I think it's all like a big play.
Absolutely.
And I think
you
get confused, and where a lot of the arguments start and sometimes, just escalate is the fact that we're not playing the same game, yet we come across each other in this lifetime. And then the differences come out, and it's, oh, really? Is that how you believe? Well, that's not completely right. Let me tell you why. And it's like, just step back, say, it's great to meet you. Make a friend. Everybody's so busy pointing the finger and saying, well, this direction works for me. I think you should go this way. Go whichever way works the best for you, and be glad you came across the other individual and that they came into your life, even if it's just for 5 minutes, a hi, walking down the street. Who knows? But it's all this pushing and yeah, sometimes it can drive me crazy, and sometimes I just want to stay in the house. I don't want to go out. And there's a lot of people out there, a lot of listeners that are probably asking, what was she talking about? Kids? Talking about kids? What was the... Not so much.
What, the babies, you mean?
Well, not so much that you might be older and listeners are younger, but talking about the kids that are coming down now, the babies.
Oh, the kids know exactly what they're doing. Most of these souls have never incarnated on this planet. They signed up. Yay! And then what do? We dumb them down so they can't. At least there's 20%. There's 100% of them on this planet now, and only 20% make it. And they say I already wrote this down. I'm jumping ahead, but I'll have to find it. But they said we're being dumbed down with school, vaccines, and food. They never said about the parents, quite frankly. They said that's how they're getting us. And they did it on purpose. Because again, if you have to think of the elite or whatever you want to call them, there's much more than that. There's a whole caboodle of people or souls. There's just not that one, I can't put a name on that. I don't even want to call them that, so it's just easier, but there's so much going on. Mm-hmm. But these kids are being bombarded because they're teaching them linear. These kids think in spiral, which is of the universe. Everything's in a spiral. Check it out. You can find it out. Even Einstein said it.
Even the planets are a spiral.
All of them. It's all spiral, and that's how they think. They don't think linear. Linear just dumbs them down because then they forget why they're here. Like we did when we were dumbed down when we came. Most of them keep it. Well, 20% do. And that's all we need. Actually, we need like 12%. So 20%, we're doing good. So let's keep it at 20%. The babies are the future. Remember that. Don't ever underestimate these children. And don't ever give them a name like autism. We did that to them. We dumbed them down. Not we. You know who did it. Who's making up these vaccines on purpose just to screw with them. Those are the babies. They can still hear you, and they can still understand everything. Those are the special children. Don't ever underestimate it. And most kids have it now. It is like a protocol now,
Yeah, but in realization, though, Dorrie, it's just like, as I call them, labels. It's just another label to stick on some kid coming into this lifetime, only for others to look around and whisper and say, oh, he's got autism. Yeah, so what?
Well, see, I love it because, to me, I see these kids on a daily basis, and they happen to attract me. Who would have thunk it? And I just embrace them. And I'm like, you're sick, you're dumb, or what are you? And they look at me funny, like, I know who you are. Thank you for coming. We really needed you. And then they start talking baby talk after the fact. I know who they are, and I know why they're here. But that's their gig. That's how they want to come down. Let's give them like when they say, oh, there's retarded children on the planet, or there's this kind of children on the planet. Those are the souls that are helping us. Those are the ones that came down here to mask who they really are. They're not getting to go to dances and parties and smoke weed and drink and go to bars and, get married, have children. They knew it. They knew why they came down here. Nothing's a coinky-dink. Nothing's by accident. Not one soul on this planet is by accident. This is all precog. This is done ahead of time. And we just don't get it. And you probably won't get it. These are the babies of the future. These are the ones who are lifting us up into this. We couldn't do it without them, number one. So there's just no way. And I love them all. I think it's great. And stop giving those kids stupid names. But if they have to on this planet, go for it. Whatever it has to be. I love when people, the powers that be. It's been around for years, forever, thousands of years. You're a slave. We know this. Get over it. Yep. And we signed up for that, too. You've been down here for an experience.
I just haven't gotten to that level yet where I can understand the babies, whether they're talking backwards or, I think
it's amazing. Everything's in spiral, so think about it. If I put a spiral in front of you, it always goes backwards. A spiral never goes right to left. It goes left to right. So it's, you know what I mean?
That's right.
And so every time they come out and they go goo goo gaga, what we hear is backwards. English backwards. Let's put it that way. So they're actually speaking proper. We're speaking foolishly. So they have to now stop their language and turn it around. They have to go right to left. And it's usually linear. Because how we read, right to left. Right. They have to take their voice, their mind, change their whole thinking, right and left side of brain, and that's how they have to change their thinking. And come down to our level. And then they lose all their gifts. Because they really don't have to speak. They're telepathic. All these children are, so you'd be amazed.
And that's really what school does.
Right.
Set it up.
Well, again, if you can pass the test, if you can get to this grueling stage of planet Earth, you're in. And a lot of them do it. Some of them don't make it. But 100% are here now, and only 20% can make it. I'll take the 20%. But the parents have to be the other 80%, you know, saying, you're beautiful, and talk to them, and let them talk backwards, and do what you have to do to understand them. Either way. Teach them sign language. That's the easiest form.
Wow.
Teaching them something. Well, then they don't have to go linear. They don't have to think with the right side or the left side. They just do sign language. It's so much easier for them. It's easy to digest. It's like, you know, a soft squash they're eating instead of a piece of steak. And that's how their mind thinks. Oh, well, that's easy. I'll take it in. And they could absorb it because they've been crucified with so many drugs and vaccines and stuff that, you know.
I never thought of that. Sign language. That's it. Wow.
It's incredible. A lot of babies speak it now. Well, the friggin' chimps speak, you know, sign language, and the apes, they know it. And they know exactly what's going on. They're the most smartest beings on the planet besides the dolphins and the whales, but they're very intelligent. And they speak in sign language. You're crying, they know what crying means. They know what hurting means. They know what birth means, dying means. They know everything. Everything. You know, Cheetah lives right down the street from me.
You're kidding.
No, he lives 4 blocks away from me. He's at a retirement home, and they always get him a kitty. He outlives it, obviously. And he loves his cat. Every time they give him a new kitty, because the cat passes away, it doesn't last that long. He's been, I think, there for like 40 years now. No, maybe less than that. Maybe 30 years. And it says on the garage, Cheetah lives here, and I think they take other apes in from like movie shows and stuff like that. Yeah. And he does sign language. And that's how I know. Well, I studied apes as well as children, but I mean, I had to study everything just to be a smart ass and know what I was talking about. But yeah, he lives on the street and he does sign language.
He does.
And he did the crying thing and a rocking and kitty. And the cat ran away because when cats want to die, they leave. They'd rather go out in the field and die than do it in front of their owners, you know?
Mm.
And he loved this cat that he had, Sammy or something. I think his name was Sammy. My husband started crying. I'm like, oh, for Christ's sake. I started crying. I'm like, crying over a chimp's cat. This is horrible. What are we going to do? Are we going to buy him a new kitty? Do we have to get a kitty? I say to my husband, do I have to buy the ape cat? What do I have to, my husband's laughing. And then he started laughing. It's so sad. He's crying. And the ape did the crying because they don't cry. They can never shed tears. They don't have tear ducts like we do.
Right.
And he did the tear with his finger, and then he did the rocking, and then he signed cat. And he knew the cat was dead. And he showed the picture, and they were trying to do it on the news. The cat's lost. I'm like, the cat's dead. You know, never mind we have coyotes out here, but the cat actually went away from the house to go pass away, you know. Cats are the most amazing animals ever. You know, dogs will just, do it with you,
Well, yeah.
Unless they're, stray dogs, but or wolves or things like that. But cats will leave, so you don't have to feel the pain.
Mm.
They're very psychic, so yeah. But the sign language of the babies, they know crying, bottle, feed me. It's easier because, like I said, we're teaching them linear. They think in spiral, and they're telling you backwards. Daddy, help me. And actually, they call these people by their names. They don't even say Daddy or Mommy. They say David or Sheila or Michael or Tom, or Susan or whatever, And if you do reverse speech on children, and that's the first thing I studied, I think like 13 years now. I give a little more than 13 years. I'm studying reverse speech. I studied with babies first. I was so amazed at these babies and what they said backwards. And they called them by name. Like, David, help me. Like they couldn't find the ball fell out of their hand. And it rolled, and they couldn't get up and walk. They could barely crawl, but they were telling Daddy, help me. And they didn't say Daddy, they said name. They named their father, which his name was David. Amazing to hear it backwards, and they said it perfectly. Oh, I'm telling you, once I got into this, I was hooked. I did the kids, and then I did other things, and then I did presidents. And that's when we went into the dark side. I went right down the rabbit hole. I knew what I was getting myself into.
Oh.
Like, oh, crap, here we go. There's the dark side. Yeah, they all say the same thing backwards. They talk about the net on the planet, and they talk about Nick, and they talk about how we have to serve it and be unfair. Play it out. It's for the Nick, it's for the net, and it's for Mark. And Mark is like the big one. Everybody keeps saying it's Mark of the Beast. which you could have your own opinion. I think it's deeper than that. I think there's more. It's not just humans we're talking about. I think we're talking about other beings on the planet that had this planet way before we did. And yeah, I mean, they suckered us into this stuff, but there is a net over this planet.
Well, and those other beings are still here also.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But there's some just stuck in like crypto. You ever study that? It goes in. You can go into this for days. But yeah, I studied most of it. Some things I got out of. Some things I got afraid of. Like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't be studying this. Because the more you study, well, you have to understand you get attacked in your dreams. Because when you study that, you go up a level. And every time you get up a level, you get, like, the bitch slap, I could say. The astral bitch slap. You get whacked upside the head, and you come back down to this reality and go, oh, did I dream that? Was it real? Or are they messing with me? Because you're getting to be open. You know, you're open.
Well, and I think that's another interesting part, too, about a lot of people's lives today is just dreaming. You know, some people say they don't dream anymore. Some people say, oh, yeah, you know, I dream all the time. And we hear so-called experts saying, oh, yeah, well, you have anywhere from 6 to 10 dreams a night, and you may remember the last one. But there's all this, I guess you could call it a smog. There's all this wireless smog out there today with Wi-Fi and, you know, modems, routers, whatever you want to call them in your house, just sending out these pulses.
Well, shut them off. Well, it's like Wi-Fi's going through your house. I shut everything off when I go to bed. My husband hasn't had a remembering dream since he was a baby, and he's 60 now. He just turned 60 last month.
Really?
So do you remember anything? He said, I had one dream, and me and my husband were going through a tough time, not with us, but like with our house and our properties and stuff. And he said, I was looking for you. You were at a fair, like I don't know if you guys remember back east, if you're from back east. We always had fairs and stuff at the end of summer. You know, like July and August. You go to carnivals. Maybe carnival makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I was looking for you and you were lost and I couldn't find you. It's the only dream he remembered in 60 years. And I said, oh my God, I studied lucid dreaming, so I know to wake up. And I know it's fake, and I know there's a lesson in.
That's weird. Because that's probably a good idea, just unplugging everything, or at least, you know, we always get those, what are they called? Oh, surge protectors these days that have 4 or 5 outlets that you can buy, plug 4 or 5 things into them. You know, just hit the switch before you go to bed. And I think you'll be surprised. Oh my gosh, I had a dream last night, and I remember what it was.
Well, remember you're being dumbed down too in the dreams because there's also another energy coming in. And to study even lucid dreaming is a trip. Some of you probably don't want to go there, but you have to say it ahead of time before you go to bed because you're in control of your subconscious. Your soul leaves. Don't care what anybody says. Your subconscious takes care of your body. It breathes. Your heart pumps. You know, blood flows and all that. It will. But your soul goes, it goes in parties. It has to go where it has to go. Everything like splits up when you dream. I mean, I've been to the strangest place, and I woke up during most of these little fiascos going, holy, you know, bleep, bleep, because we're on air. What the bleep, bleep is this? They're like, you should be asleep. I'm like, oh, hell no, I'm staying up for this shit. I'm like, I'm going to find out what's going on. And I did. And I watched it. And I would talk to them, and I'm like, who are you? Why are you summoning me? I'm a sovereign soul. Why are you doing this? They said, you need to know. And yes, you're sovereign, but you signed up for this as well. I'm like, I did? Oh, God, I don't even remember. Like, yeah, of course. And I ask, you know, and I swear a lot, obviously, in this lifetime and obviously in my astral. And they showed me around, very kind, showed me what was going on, and I was, like, cool with it after the fact. But at first I was freaked out. I woke up. As soon as I woke up, I was running around the house like a maniac. Oh, my God, I'm shaking my husband. You're never going to believe this. They saw all these people on this planet, and they were telling me stuff, and what's going on this planet while I'm here. And my husband's going, okay, Dar, just go back to bed. You're crazy. Dar, you need to take a pill. Just go to bed, honey.
Well, I got a little surprise for you, Dorrie. We didn't give the okay at the top of the hour to make calls, but
Oh, hell, it's
since
JoJo.
you were on his show, we'll make an exception.
Absolutely, it's JoJo.
Thank you very much, Justin.
Hey, Joe,
Hey, Joey.
welcome.
Hello, sweet Dorrie Bar. How are you?
Hello, my love. Thank you so much for joining us, and thanks for having me too, by the way.
It was my pleasure. Oh, both was my pleasure, completely. I was hoping you would meet Michael soon enough, and I'm still trying to get him to do the rounds. Just
He'll come back. Maybe he's taking a little breather.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
like full cat.
He and I were just discussing projects. Not even show. Like he's in the TV business. He makes he's in the production end of
Perfect.
television shows.
Perfect.
Yeah, so he's done a few shows. He recently made one. I'd say it was in the last year. Discovering America, is that the name of the show? Well, he did a UFO show nonetheless. And he's done a few others, and we're trying to come up with some ideas for some other shows still, too.
We have some family members that are in the AKA movie business. I won't say her name because she'll probably cut me. And but she's one of the awakened ones as well. So
Okay.
no, I can't say her name because she'll kill me. But she's doing like the top shows that are going on right now. Yeah, she's working her butt off. ABC, CBS. She's on most of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's doing good, and she's awakened, so that's a good thing. And she's like, people are getting it. Yeah, we put them out there. And then there's the other side that, it's always owned by one kind of family, and then the other ones put out the negative, and the other ones have to put out the positive. There has to be two sides to every story. And this people have to understand. The good and the bad is everywhere. But you have to see the good if that's what you want to see. If you just want to keep seeing the bad, what are you going to get? The bad. Because that's what you're creating this. You're creators, you guys. You're not a nothing and a slave, and a zero. You're not the 1%. You actually are it. You are the 100%. They turn it around to make you the creep, and you're not.
I agree. I can't agree with you more. I'm right behind all this preaching tonight you're doing here.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, my show. Our show is going to be like dreams and things like that. But I think it just goes where it has to go. I think we just do what we have to do, and it works out for me.
Absolutely. As we were talking about, I like myself. I just do what I feel is the correct thing to better myself, regardless of other people. Well, not without regard. I do care if things affect other people. However, I don't. But when I said that about other people, it's usually when people go to find themselves and to seek themselves so they could address these things that they have that might cause them hesitance in life. As we all know, it's sensitive. You're open to ridicule and mockery, and even usually from your closest friends and family is usually where it comes from, because they'll say, instead of them saying, well, that's the type of person, that's the type of mind Dorrie has, they would say, I don't know why Dorrie always has to do stuff like this, It's, you have to be able to get past everybody and everything and really just care about what your focus is, and everything else will fall into line.
Well, and I think that's usually where it starts from, Joe, because, being family or very close friends, they feel they have that privilege. Well, I know this person well enough to tell them this.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. And, well, when it comes to my family, my immediate family, as in my parents, and, well, I was adopted, but they are completely different. Great people. Love them all. Love them all real well. But they are, they would not understand anything we're saying here. I don't want to be so negative about them because there's really no need to be. They believe in Jesus. They're Roman Catholics. So I was raised Roman Catholic. But I've also learned a lot in history and other related studies over time. I know I'm not way up there in years, but I'm doing as much studying still as I can. But if I were to, make any suggestions that, let's say, the Bible may not be divine fact word for word, that they don't want to hear that. There's things that they just don't want to hear, and they're content with it. So they're aware they're ignoring, and I don't get the intelligence in that at all. I don't know how, if someone, I understand people's attitudes and the way people are make things difficult. However, if I was doing something for a long period of time the wrong way, and there was a better, more efficient, proper way, and someone came along and he told me that, I would be very grateful. I would be very grateful. I was sure to appreciate it, and I might have to ask why if I don't see the purpose, the need. But nonetheless, I won't go back to my old way because that's how I like doing it. Maybe in isolated cases, but I was just using that as an example.
I know my mother's going to crucify me because we're actually recording the show so my mom can hear it, but she said to me, why are you going to the church? And, I was brought up Roman Catholic. I'm Italian. Obviously, my mother's Irish. My father's Italian. Went to Catholic school my whole life. Best education I ever had in my life, so I'm never going to knock any of this.
Right.
But I said, sure, we know now. We know it now, and my mom knows it. My mom is the same way as I am. She's very gifted, and she doesn't use it as much as she used to because she says, I don't want it. She doesn't want to deal anymore. I know, Mom, you're going to listen to this, but I said, why? And I kept pushing her and busting her, and I shouldn't have done that. And she goes, because. My sisters wouldn't, agree with me, and they would shun me, and I went, what?
Right.
She goes, I'd be outcasted, and Ma, I know you're going to kill me, so you're still going to donate, right? I love you. I love you, Ma. But I have to because I know my mom's going to listen to this. I love you, Mom. And I went, oh, my God, what did I just do? I felt bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I actually put her in that corner, and she just turned, she's in her 70s now, young. She's gorgeous. And I'm like, she's rocking it. Yeah. And I was like, who am I to do that to my mother? But when she got divorced, which my father was a total, mafia craphead, and she couldn't go to communion, and she couldn't go to church. They didn't allow divorced women back then. My mother went to Catholic school, and we had the best upbringing. Yeah. And I said, who tells you what you can do, and how do they know? It's none of their business. You do what you have to do. I just want to get the Eucharist. I just want to talk to Jesus, and that's what makes her feel good.
Well,
who am I to judge?
You're not,
You know what I mean? If that's what my mom wants to do, God bless her. My aunts are in their 80s. Hey, apple dons, enjoy your life. Who am I to judge? And I went, you know what, Ma? You do it. If that's what makes you happy. But when she said to me, I'll be outcasted, I went, now you're telling me the truth. Because now I see it. Because I wasn't outcasted by my friends. I said, I'm not going to church. I'll babysit your kids, but see ya. Oh, yeah, I babysit all their kids at their mansions and stuff. I said, I want to stay home. And the kids go, can we stay with Auntie Dorrie? And all the parents looked. They said, oh, is this perfect for you? You don't want kids crying and screaming and being, relentless in church. Yeah, and all the kids stayed with me. We had fun, and we had a great time. And when they came home, I had one kid in timeout, and I was rubbing her back. And one of my girlfriends says, what are you doing? I said, she's in timeout. And she goes, why are you rubbing my kid's back? I said, because we need to talk about why she's so upset. And she goes, can I go in timeout? And then everybody said, am I in timeout next? These are all the parents. I want to go in timeout with Auntie Dorrie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's how I do it. What do you want me to do, scold them and throw them in their room and lock the door? Put them away when they need to know why they feel bad? The little boys beat her at a game and she was pissed. I said, all right, so let's talk about it. So now you're mad, so you'll be good at it someday. And she's like, what did you do? I said, I was good at everything. I raced cars, shoot pool. I did it better than any boys ever did. I said, because that's how I got mad. I took care of it. I want to be like you when I grow up, Auntie Dorrie. I said, well, someday you will. And that was one of my best friend's kids. So.
Awesome.
Well, we got about 3 minutes. Well, there's a break.
The break.
Right there.
Coming right back, you guys. Stay tuned. And if you have any questions you guys want to call in, You can, because Justin's going to give you the number when we come back. Ciao for now.
Justin!
Gino!
Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.
Who owns you? If you're not in control, then someone else is. Join me, Ivy West, for Voices on the Wind, Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern in Studio A. I discuss government, health, metaphysics, suppressed science, universal mysteries, little-known incredible facts, alternative energies, and even more than you can imagine. Won't you join us on Revolution Radio Saturdays from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern for Voices on the Wind with me, Ivy West.
There are lives in the balance, people under fire, children at the cannons.
Because if your head's in the sand, your tail is the target.
Hi everybody, it's me, the Fetch, host of Inside the Eye Live. Before the Sunday mainstream media political pundit talk shows, there is Inside the Eye Live, where we break down some of the weekly mainstream media talking points before the talking points even get aired. Add in some entertaining stories, weather, cats, intriguing and informative guests, and you get one of the most listened to Saturday morning streaming media political talk shows going today. And it's all right here on our flagship station, Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. So join me, the Fetch, for Inside the Eye Live every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern. It is truly intelligent media for the politically aware.
I have worked with the CIA, NSA, Templars, and Bilderbergers. Now I work for you. My show will disclose secrets of science and esoteric knowledge. Join me, Stephen D. Kelly, for 2 hours every Thursday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Time on freedomslips.com, Revolution Radio, Studio A. You can also listen to previous shows by going to youtube.com/Free Revolution Radio.
Anti-aircraft guns went into action against unidentified aircraft in the Los Angeles area shortly after 3 a.m. Pacific Wartime this morning.
You're far stronger than we were 10 weeks ago.
All quarters, all hands at your battle stations.
Nervous soldiers, I'll do the mastermind here.
You who have not seen it do not know what hell looks like from the top.
Well, check it out every Tuesday and Saturday on Revolution Radio. It's a double dose of the internationally recognized renegade military historian, Douglas Dietrich.
You'll stay right where you are till I tell you to move out.
Yeah, that's right. Tuesdays from 10 to midnight Eastern Time. Join Douglas Dietrich as he exposes the truth in hidden history on his show Critical Omissions. And then our human weapon of mass destruction is back once again to take your calls on Saturday Night Firing Lines. Both from 10 to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Only on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com.
This is Thomas, a.k.a. a Mad Painter. I'd like you to join me Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Open Canvas. Don't forget to bring an open mind.
Yes, folks, that's right. Bring an open mind to an open canvas. Again, that is Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern. UFOs to government corruption. This is Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. You don't need to expect us. We're already here. Revolution Radio. You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
Hello. Welcome back to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. I am one of your co-hosts, Dorrie Barr. I'm with JustinDorrieTime and Joe Kiernan. Joe has a show right before us on Studio B, which we adore, obviously. I'm just going to run through a few things. Good morning, good evening, across the nation, across the pond, around the world, wherever you guys are, because I know it's still in California time, 12:01. Actually, we're going into Friday now. And for everybody else, I'm sure you're probably way ahead of us, and the East Coasters are sleeping. And if you're not, thanks for staying up with us. We are 100% listener-supported radios, you guys, and we couldn't do what we do without all of you. So, yes, please do your due diligence. Go to freedomslips.com and go to the support on the homepage. Go to the support button, press support, and do whatever you can do. Myself, I like dead presidents. If anybody else wants to donate, even 5 cents doesn't make a difference. It's all because of you that we do what we do, 24/7. And I think we're number one as far as internet radio stations go. So yay to us. And we love you all, and we thank you again for all the beautiful things you do. So back to the show.
Number one for listener supported, and they're still trying to figure out how we do that. How did these people climb so high without getting a corporate sponsor? It's
a miracle.
It's all because of you out there. And we're going to give out the number if you would like to call in the second hour and have a question or a comment you would like to give. The number is 562-912-3502. Or if you have the computer in front of you and you have Skype installed and all set up, my contact name is Old Miser. That's OLD_. That's one of them underlined things. MIZER. And the phone number again, if you didn't write it down, that's 562-912-3502. So give us a call and we'll get you in.
I want to do a shout out to like some of the newcomers that are actually in the chat room. And Jerry B, you're not a newcomer, but hey, since you're an admin, but it's Hugo. I think his name is Hugo. I'm sorry, I don't know it. And Sindulo. And all you guys are in here. And I hope I'm not missing anybody around. I hope you're still here, but I don't know. I think his name is Hugo. WHDEVO. So, and Bella's in there as well. And we love you all. And I hope I didn't miss any of you. But Jerry B,
Is that what it is?
No, not Zappod. Zappod just came
Zappod.
in, but there's another one. Yeah, there's another one. And I'm a Jin. I love them. And Simply Red, you're a sweetheart, and thank you. So thank you for everything, and I'm glad you guys are listening. And Zappod, he's like, hey, he heard you, so all is good. All is good results.
I Jin. We got the whole crew in there.
I want to do like the story thing. Hello, hello. And there's Silly Quiet, and Spencer Time, and Joe K, and Jerry B. Oh, look, there's Hammerhead, and Barrios, and Nighthawk, and Keith, and Terry K.
You know what?
I do it on purpose because you don't want her to call in.
She reads my name out.
Don't you, though? Don't you get all excited?
I'm never too old for that.
She goes, and there's
something really weird about it.
Oh, you know what?
That's all my sister. Go ahead. You're like messing with my intro, seriously?
That's my buddy, W.H. Devo.
He's a sweetheart.
Oh, yeah.
He's a sweet guy. I think it's a guy, so I hope, if you're not a girl, I'm sorry. If I just insulted you, I'm sorry.
And I think we got our first caller, Dorrie.
Second caller.
Oh, pardon me.
Yeah, well, Joe was our first, and we got John, all J's. I love it. John knows how much I love this man. I love this man. That's all I have to say. I'm in love with Big John. So, thank you so much for calling. How are you? Where you been?
I've been on a sabbatical for
nice.
a short time.
Are we
Spring
having
is
fun?
here, so I hope to interact with you guys a bit longer. Good morning, midday, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are on this wonderful planet we live on. And my best wishes to you all. So what's happening in this big wide world?
Too much? See, I need that accent when I start the intro. I don't know how to get that. I don't have to practice that one. He makes it sound so beautiful. You really do, John. You make everything sound lovely.
It isn't. Look, you are the dominant thought in your mind in this reality.
Oh, I love it.
So why not be the best you can be and spread a little bit of joy instead of a bit of doom and gloom every week?
You got it, sir. That's our motto on this show.
The planet's, in a bit of a mess. We got wars going on here and there, but and hopefully this stations like this can help minimise the collateral damage. But just maybe the creators put it all in place as a learning lesson for what the wonderful new way, I don't like to use that word, the wonderful future that mankind has to come.
We have something great to look forward to. It's going to suck
Oh,
for a
we do.
Well, it's going to suck for a few of us for a while. And after that, it goes good. So, I think
Yep, I can see it very, very clearly. There's a bit to go through, and a lot of us are going to hurt, and I think most of us are going to hurt. But there is a giant rainbow at the end of that dark tunnel. And I can almost guarantee you that. But it's up to you if you want it to be, You can sit around and think, how bad things are, or look at the small, bright sparks you might see in every day. And they're there if you're prepared to look. And it's only up to you. Just a perception of mine.
The ladies in the chat room are trying to figure out your accent, John. They love it.
I'm an old hopefully it's still a gentleman. An old man. Well, I know, Justin, I rarely go into chat for my own reasons, but I see a negative from some of our regular chatters and of Scorpion star sign. And since we're both Scorps, I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. But we're the most gentle, giving men you'll find.
That's right.
The sting in the tail is our biggest problem is us, not others. You with me?
I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you. Yeah, we're gentle souls and we got big hearts. All we got to do is want to share it with us.
And Joe, I'd just like to say I heard your show in the last on Studio B. Wonderful, man. Congratulations. It was good, real good stuff. Love to hear that type of stuff.
Thank you very much, John. I appreciate that. It's actually, that show's actually Michael Parker's show. He's the host of that show. I am the producer of the show, and I helped him get the show going. And he's a good buddy of mine, but that's primarily his show. I'm there as a sidekick and producer.
Can you give us the name and time again of that, John?
And poor humor. It is on our schedule, midnight on Friday. So Thursday night. Let me just say this. The show is titled The Electric Pyramid in Studio B, and it is on Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern. Michael Parker's the host, and again, it's called The Electric Pyramid.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
He's a sweetheart, yeah.
He's a great guy. Very knowledgeable guy. Very knowledgeable guy. He's pretty big on even astrology and into all of the mental arts, because as I was mentioning, he's in the TV film business, so he really does a lot of different things. He actually used to have a radio show a number of years ago. I think he stopped doing it about 3 years ago, and the name of that show was titled Gray Matter. Yeah, Dark Matter, Gray Matter. What was Art Bell's recent show titled? Anyone?
Dark.
Was it Dark Matter or Gray Matter?
I think it was Dark Matters or something like that.
You might be right, Justin.
No, it is dark, yeah. Yeah,
well,
dark.
Then that's what Michael's show was in the past. Because he wanted to reuse that name when he was coming to the best radio station in the world, freedomslips.com. When he got the signal to come aboard and he was going to do his own program here.
I'm sorry, it's Fade to Black, because Jimmy Church is on. I know him, but it's Fade to Black now, and that's Art Bell's show.
I don't know
he'll be coming on like in a couple months. Fade to Black, yeah.
Yeah, there was another one, but
there was a Dark Matter,
Anywho,
something Fade to the Dark. I don't know what it was. Yeah.
He would probably kill me too if I said what he works on, where he currently works. You know, and rightfully so. For a lot of these people, they're not able.
Right.
They're not able to say. They're not at liberty to say. A lot of them are contracted, and if you're dealing with celebrities, especially A-listers, you could lose your job for
anything. Been there, done that.
Much.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can't say.
True.
Can't say nothing.
Taking meth too
it's
many
not
times.
just the job. When
so actually,
someone like
James
Michael
Bartley
Parker
did some work with that as well.
It's a career. It's an art. It's passion. He takes it serious. He enjoys creative. He enjoys the whole process of putting together images into entertainment. However, we all wish we could do it on our own, but he does work for a TV program. I'll say he's in TV, so he has to follow. Things have to be a certain way for that particular show. But,
yeah, I know a few. I know a few of them are doing the same thing.
Yeah, I got a few friends out there. I lived out there too in LA. That's where I met him.
That's interesting. You say he's in that business because I've been listening to his show since it debuted, and I can hear that. I can sense that in Michael's character.
Is that right?
I can feel the energy. Yeah, just when he talks, I thought, I'm thinking this guy might be in. It's surprising you said that.
Yeah, that's a very good reading, because you were right on about that. And he actually moved to Los Angeles from Texas to be a musician, or in that field, and he was good at it for a while. He worked on a lot of music projects. I know he worked for the Zappas for a long time at their house and studio for a number of years, and a lot of cool projects. But we have a mutual friend named Jeff Myers, who's a filmmaker. And Jeff Myers was someone I met when I moved to Los Angeles. I met him rather quickly. I had spoken to him several times before I even moved to LA from New York. I spoke with Jeff because he, again, is a filmmaker. No major films. I don't know if that is a desire of his. He does make a lot of smaller films. He doesn't make, not movies, films, where it's an art and it's moving photography. Jeff is a very talented guy, and I had spoken with Jeff before I moved out to Los Angeles, because he was filming and directing and heading the editing of a lot of music videos when MTV was still playing music. And I was working for MTV in New York, so I was always talking with him. And the person I am, I can't stay there and work at MTV for my whole life. I could only stay somewhere for like 2 years or so. Good opportunities for doing new creative things in Los Angeles, and I was gone. I was out there and meeting Jeff and spending time with them, and Michael Parker is one of Jeff's best friends. So that's how I met Michael Parker. Actually, the first time I met Michael Parker was on the roof of Jeff's house, looking at a UFO object, an unidentified object, in the middle of the day. That's where I met him. It was pretty cool. He's been a great friend since.
Oh, wow. And what about you, Johnny? You know, we've been talking about all these energies that have been going on, you know, for the first couple of weeks of this show. Have you noticed that where you live, buddy? A difference in the energies changing, maybe just with yourself, feeling like you need to take a nap when you never did before, or nice people just being outright rude, or...
What have I noticed? Other than the workforce, I don't deal with many people. I'm very much a recluse. I have noticed a change in nature, and I can go back. Well, spring has sprung here. It's the 5th of September, so spring was here 5 days before. But over winter came very, very late, a month late. I would normally start pruning the trees around about the first week in June. Now, we had an unusual weather in that it was warmer, much warmer, like an Indian autumn, let's call it. I won't call it the summer. And the buds on the trees, the leaf on the trees stayed on, and you cannot prune in a proper, lawful manner until the leaf falls off the tree.
Right.
So we started in the second week of July, which was a month, 5 weeks later. So the energy of the earth or the environment changed a little bit. I have felt I've had a few back problems over the last couple of months and have not done a lot of physical work. Just did a bit of overseeing on the property. So I've been under some type of constraint. But that may be because I need to make a decision on the next step I'm going to take forward in my life, which is a big step for me because I'm entering retirement.
I don't believe you son to you.
Well, I'll never stop, but I mean as far as being a commercial grower.
I got you.
Move on into something a little bit smaller, a little bit more lawful, environmentally friendly, instead of having to play by the commercial game and what the great chains of grocery stores or supermarkets want in fruit. I'll go target a much smaller market, but be super, super clean and green.
That's right.
But that may change also. I was hoping to do some travelling in the next couple of months and maybe come and see a bit of America, although I'm not sure whether that might be a wise decision.
No, it's wise. What part of America are you coming to? We'll protect you.
Oh, if I come, I'll come for a couple of months. And
Where are you going?
Well, first, I need to do South America. I need to see one of my very, very good friends in Peru, who's an expat, US expat. And I thought, well, I might come over and see you guys, travel around the States, a few different states that you people are in, and say hello.
We're here.
But I'm concerned that there may be some really big earth changes coming.
Don't worry, California's not going to float into the ocean anytime soon. I live in the desert. Couldn't go wrong here.
Yeah, well, yeah, but hang on.
And so what? If it is, it's meant to be.
You're in the A-class part of the world. Now, I was thinking whether I should fly in. Someone told me I should fly into LA and then go out to, I forget where they told me. I've got it on record somewhere, and buy a Winnebago and travel around in that.
A Winnebago, huh? Huh.
Or
that's a California thing to do, actually.
Or
motorhome
from
for
what
all
I've
you folks that don't know
researched, I can get a Delta pass to fly into any state I like whenever I want. which would probably be a better option.
But a motorhome is cool. You're doing it by yourself, right?
Oh, yeah.
You get a place to sleep, obviously. You have to go to Winnebago, but we call it like motorhomes now. Because we're in like 2014.
Yeah. Doesn't necessarily need to be Winnebago, but
1960, yeah.
You get the idea. Buy one of those and spend a couple of months over there travelling around and see a bit.
It's great. I think it's great. You should go for it.
Well, we will see. Nothing's set in stone, and I have the ability to move, but I sort of still, although I don't own the property anymore, I sort of have a really strong connection, and it may need my help shortly.
Well, it's up to you.
Yeah, I know. Look, it's a decision I need to make, and as I said, there's nothing set in stone, and I don't have to do it really quickly or at the moment, so we'll just sit back and relax. And if I get over there, I'll tell you I'm coming, and we'll open a bottle of nice red or something.
Anything you want, honey, it'll be here for you. Well, no, I don't drink wine, but I'll make it a point to have it. I'm Italian, yeah. Cook with it. I cook with it, so I eat it. I eat it.
Woman, young Dorrie.
I will cook you the best Italian food you ever had in your life. Trust me.
You can bet on that, John.
Trust me. My husband's like...
Yeah, okay, I'm with you. I have an old acquaintance who's Calabrese Italian, who has a manufacturing plant outside the back of his home and does all the prosciuttos, the Italian sausages.
Nice. Yeah, I get it sent from back.
You know what I mean.
I get them
and when I
here.
go there, it's better than any restaurant I could eat at.
Yeah, I have my family members get it for me now. They're like, Christ, Dorrie, that's what you want? I'm like, yeah, need $500 worth of crap, just send it. But good, of course you know this, you got to put the block ice and dry ice, whatever they use. I said, I don't care what it costs, just do it. I'm in a big party. I would have parties at my house. It costs like $2,000 just for the food. That's not even including the liquor and everything, just to send it from back home. And people never had Italian food before. They think like frozen meatballs and like a jar of sauce, you know? I've never had a jar of sauce in my house ever. No, my husband's so spoiled. Come on. I spoiled it.
Wow.
And, well, I was like, learned how to cook in Italy. So
I'm
not an American Italian cook.
Right. We know good tomatoes are not going to come out of cans.
Right. I'm like, oh, hell no.
Well, I mean, they might, but...
Well, my husband's Irish. And he would have, like, I saw his house, so I looked in the cabinet. He had, like, jar sauce. I'm like, oh, Genda de Codos. I'm swearing in Italian. And you guys don't need to know what that means in English. It's bad. It's a very bad swear word. Genda de, it's like, the Christ is coming off the cross. Why are you eating this crap? I'm like, look at all these ingredients. And then they have this, I can't even pronounce it. I can make a sauce in, like, 20 minutes. 20 minutes, that's it. It's over. You can have any sauce you want. And he goes, oh, I don't know. Nobody taught me. He's one of 5 kids, I'm an only child egg, but I cook Italian, like straight off the boat Italian. Anything you can make in 20 minutes. I make mozzarella myself if I have to. Our mozzarella would be from me, but I can't wreck my hands anymore because I'm getting older now. But I used to do it myself. So and pasta
Frank
and all
still
that.
makes his own fresh mozzarella, and it is fantastic.
It's a bitch. Well, you have to do the hot, the scalding water with the cold water, and your hands burn. You have to be, like, residual to it. I'm not anymore because I'm older now, but when I was in my 20s, I made my own.
He does have his own restaurant.
Rough hands, yeah. We had that
Italian place.
My father had restaurants my whole life. He's like, you have to learn the proper way to cook Italian food. I'm like, yeah, okay. What chef is coming to teach me? He goes, that's not going to happen. And then my other fiancé said, we're going to Italy. And my father was like, perfect, just go. You'll learn everything you have to learn. So I did. I learned everything I had to. This guy couldn't stand me. His name is Peppino. Couldn't stand me. Oh, America gonna feel. Here comes the American chick, is what he was saying in English for all you out there who doesn't understand. Here she comes. And I was 20, so, it was a pain in the ass anyway. Imagine me on crack. Like, add the ears up. And he said, now you gotta do a fritta mozzarella, capito? So I do fried mozzarella, right? So you need 2 spatulas at the same time because the milk is so fresh there. It's not like what we have in the States, to where it's a hard mozzarella. It's not basket cheese or anything like we could buy here. Yeah, but it spreads out so fast that Well, it would just spread all over the pan.
Yeah.
And they said I had to do it like in a heartbeat with 2 spatulas, you know? And he would just shake his head. And all the ziti there, and in America you see cut ziti when you buy pasta here. And there's a reason it says cut ziti, because in Italy, it's not cut. It's long. Their tubes are long. And they're on your plate, and you have to cut it with a knife and a fork. They keep it long. So masticholi, whatever you want, is still long. There is no cut ziti in Italy. Oh, it was a blast. I really did have a good time. Yeah, it's probably the best time of my life. I was pissed. I was in my 20s. I want to stay with my friends, but I probably had the best experience I ever had in my life. So I'm glad I had to have that experience. But I learned to make every sauce on the planet. So it was cool. And good food means a lot to me. I'm a Taurus, but good food means everything. If my husband comes home and I make him anything he wants, and I always say it to Justin, it's like a friggin' diner in here. And I talk like the New Yorker. My husband's from New York. What am I, a friggin' diner?
Oh, that's right.
Well, I want this, and this. Well, he wants like salmon and stuff with the grill. He wants a certain sauce, and he wants, shoestring potatoes. He wants shoestring friggin' onion rings. And there I am with a steak. Now we're cooking all different meals. I'm like, I'm not a diner. Do you see a diner over my head? Come on, babe, can you make this for me? Of course I can make it for you. I gotta be on the air in 2 minutes, but anything for you. So I'm cooking this big-ass meal the other night, right? And Surrey Sunflower's internet goes out. Justin takes over and he goes, can I drag you in? I'm like, what? Holy crap. So I run in, I throw my husband's dinner at him, like, whew. It would like ricochet off his head. Here's your food. I'm like, everything else, I gotta go. Justin needs me and Surrey can't. I was screaming. My husband laughed so hard. Yes, he was like spitting up. Anything for the radio station. He goes to me. I always neglect him. Like, please, you're so spoiled. Something funny. But I threw the dinner at my husband, and he laughed his butt off. I'm like, they need me. I have to go. I can't eat right now. I have to feed you quick. Let's go. Thank God salmon cooks quick. But, I mean, that's what we do, But my husband's like, I'm like, how's your diner now? It ain't 24/7, honey. It's 2.5 seconds. So you pick your meal real quick. You never know when they're going to call me. My poor husband. Bless him. How he puts up with my crap, I don't know, but he's a cool cat, so.
That's good to hear.
Oh, I spoil the crap out of him, please. Who's better than him?
You feel like he's reading off a menu when he gets home from work. So.
He says, he'll just say it out of the blue. I want blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, that's going to be like a 2-hour, I don't know where I'll eat at 9 o'clock. That's what he says to me. I'm like, oh, anything for you, honey. I'm such a good wife. And I'm under my breath. In the kitchen. It's made with love. You're like shoving the pans. Do I look good, honey? Am I pretty enough for you? I love you, baby. Yeah, kiss this kid. You get to that point, we've married forever, so. But I love my husband. He's such a sweetheart. He is. But he just wants, with the weirdest things. You never know what he's going to ask for,
Yeah.
And I'm a diner. It is. It's a diner here. You never know what he's going to ask for.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, he's spoiled. I need to marry someone like that could spoil me and cook for me.
Right.
I think I screwed up on this one. What the hell happened? Yeah, he makes scrambled eggs. That's all I make. And a grilled cheese to die for, by the way. Girls out there. I am very lucky. He really does. He makes the best grilled cheese in the world. And a scrambled eggs. That's it. Other than that, no. No, he'll burn stuff. And no. He's not allowed in the kitchen, so he knows. But he washes clothes for all you females out there. Hey, I cook, he does the clothes, so it's good. It's good with me. You never know. What do you do, Joe, at your house? Do you cook, or does your wife cook?
I think we lost Joey. Joey dropped
off. We did. I see the bubbles.
Yeah.
He'll come back. Oh, he's writing. We lost you, Joe.
Yeah, he's trying to write.
He's a sweetheart, girls. What a great guy he is. All you guys are great, so I'm very blessed. Very, very blessed.
Well, that should be good for Big John. That I know. I know what he grows or used to grow out there and down under, and he had quite a few acres. That was quite a job.
Oh, Australia, it's so huge that you'd like. What is it, the north and the south, or the east and the west of Australia? Because we have people that would buy real estate from us, and they had a house in the north, and then had a house in the south. Kind of like when we go to Florida, back east, when it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
They have the same thing in Australia. They have two houses. One, when it gets cold, they go down south, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
The food.
When I grew up, we had three homes. The home in the city, the beach house, and the one up in the mountains for skiing. But,
right.
Look, when you talk about farming, I mean, I was looking at some statistics. I heard someone on the station the other day talking about the drought in California, and I understand that it's a big problem. But someone said that it is the breadbasket for America for sure, but they suggested it was the breadbasket for the world. I'm sorry, you need to look at the facts.
Right, yeah, that's unfortunate.
America's about number 6 at the moment. China is number 1. The Russian Federation is number 2. Canada is number 3. Australia is number 4. I think America comes in at number 5. Now, when we talk about ranching, from what I believe, your biggest cattle ranch in America is about 300,000 acres. Our biggest one, and we have about 12 of them at the moment, are 6 million acres. So it's a totally different demographic. But remember, our country is the size of the continent of the United States, but yet there's 25 million people here.
6 million acres. Wow.
6 million acre cattle ranch, yes.
That means it would take you a month to go through the whole property.
Yeah.
Well, no, we use helicopters.
You have to use a helicopter, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, we use helicopters. And we actually use helicopters for mustering.
Yeah. Imagine hoofing that? No, I don't think so.
No
We're
way.
on day 1,042. We're still on, 20 million? No. Well, then you know about land and stuff. But, yeah, like how we live here. Well, we always had a summer home. And people make fun of us, but we had a winter home and a summer home. We always did. And I didn't know if that was spoiled or not, but that was just my life. I can't say, oh, you didn't have that.
You know that was spoiled now.
Well, now I do, but I never looked at it as spoiled. I was never treated like that, yeah. No, they made sure.
Everybody grew up this way, but it's just not the way that it is. I mean, no, even today, there are upper middle class. There's still a middle class society over here, and they've got their holiday home and their townhome, and that's just Australia's always been considered the lucky country, and it still is. I guess it's like America was in the 1800s, like the Wild West still.
Australians are doing good, because my aunt has a client who has the summer home, winter home in Australia. Then she has a winter home here, which is the summertime for us, like the good time of the year for us, and then a home in some kind of mountain. So they have like 5 or 6 homes. And they're from Australia. But another side of Australia, I guess there's good, bad, and the ugly in Australia. I'm sure like the United States. But.
Oh, of course.
Right, yeah.
Look, there's both sides of the same coin, or different sides of the same coin. From what I understand, you live in a beautiful, Palm Springs, wonderful place, but for me, I think winter I would enjoy more than summer.
Oh, no doubt about that.
Well, everybody does. Well, winter to us is 80 degrees. So I'm hip. I can wear a leather coat at night. It gets probably like 60. I'm an East Coast chick. I love my leathers, love my leather boots. I can't shoot pool without boots on, so you can't do that in 120-degree weather. You can't wear leather in 120-degree weather. I just rhymed. That was a good one.
Wait a minute.
No, you can't.
You shoot.
Do I shoot what?
You shoot pool.
Who would have thunk it? My icon is an iron ball. Who would have thunk it? Who would have guessed? Yes, I was a pool shark. Anybody who doesn't know me well. Hey, I made a lot of money. Don't knock it. Bought a really expensive car with that. Corvette, thank you very much. I won a lot of friggin' games and a lot of races, so I saved up.
Oh, yeah.
I bought stuff,
I don't have a Q in my chalk with me.
Everything was custom made. It took me years, but I'm so short that I had a guy make me a Miyuchi, and he cut the stick. And everybody was crying, how could you do that? It's taking off the weights on the stick, but he cut it so short to meet my height requirements because he was so mad at me. He said, the stick is too big for you. You're wobbling. You need a shorter stick. So they made me like a special stick, and then that's it. I was good to go. I was good to go. And yes, I became a hustler. But 9-ball is a great game for it, so. It's talent. If you're good, you're good. It's a short game. Takes a couple seconds. You want a couple hundred, and you're good. Even like 2,000 in like an hour. To me, that's like, a good response to my income schedule.
Yeah.
I worked 9 to 5, mind you, but yeah, and that was like, spending money. Had a good eye for shooting pool. I was a lefty. Who would have thunk it? My dad taught me how to shoot pool left-handed, so he said, you have all the shots on the table if you're left-handed. You only have 2 right shots in one night, so, and I couldn't, and I'm a right-hander. I right-hand everything. I shoot pool left-handed, and I play softball left-handed. Everything else, I'm a righty. I right, I drive right, so who would have thunk it?
Who would have thunk it?
Well, he said, get on the, I used to put like a little tiny like step ladder, little step stool.
Mm-hmm.
Me up against the pool table. I'm still 5'1.5", if that. So I was tiny. I was a wee bit of a girl. So you got to shoot your left hand. So I did. I shot pool excellent. Not that good. I thought I did. And then this guy wanted to teach me, and I saw him shooting. He's a big shot from Vegas. Older guy. He was probably like 65, 70 at the time. And so I see you doing every day you're practicing. He goes, you want my services? I said, I can't afford to pay you $65 an hour. And mind you, I was 20. And I said, I can't afford that. And he said, no one told you to afford anything. And if I asked my dad, he would have paid for it, but I didn't want to. And he said, I'll do it for nothing. And I said, why is that? Because I want to see you win, he said. So I said, okay, cool.
Cool.
So I was at the table, and mind you, I went to Catholic school my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
I wore a skirt my whole life. So he said to me, oh, Catholic girl, huh? You don't spread your legs? Wow. And that was it. I started laughing so hard. He says, you got to spread your legs to get down on the table when you're shooting pool because you think you're in a dress and you're not. You're wearing jeans and you have boots on, so you're cool. And he was right. I never lowered my... Yeah, well, I never lowered my, view.
Right.
I never did that. I always stood up and was, like, basically closing my legs.
You trained that way.
Yeah, and then he got a Budweiser beer bottle, I'll never forget it, and he cleaned it out, and he dried it out, and he said, shoot in this for half an hour, and we'll see how good you think you are. I don't know any of you guys out there can shoot in a beer bottle, but you have to be on target. You can't screw up. There's no way. You have to be precise. So I did that for months, and that's how I was taught how to shoot pool. So I knew how to get precision down to a science. But he would do stuff like the old school stuff, shooting a beer bottle. Who does that? You don't get taught like that anymore. So it came in handy. And then I left to listen to Steely Dan when I shoot pool. So when I went back east a couple of years ago, I had my nephews and my brother, and we're all doing teams. And I haven't shot pool in a long time. My husband's there. We're all laughing. And I said to my nephew, I said, do me a favor, honey, go play Auntie some Steely Dan. So he does. He plays Steely Dan, Bodhisattva, he plays FM and all that. If you guys are familiar with Steely Dan, I kicked...
Oh, I definitely am. One of my favorite bands.
It's one of my favorite bands. I kicked my brother's butt.
Ooh,
I
no,
mean,
just did it.
I kicked everybody's ass, and all of a sudden you see my nephew go to my brother. You know what, Dad? Remind me next time we shoot pool with Auntie Dorrie never to listen to her and play Steely Dan again. I think there's something in the music that makes her shoot pool like that. And I'm like, pay up, bitch. You owe me $100 to my brother. My brother's like, and he's like swearing at me. I'm like, too bad, Scooby-Doo. My brother's gorgeous. And I'm like, too bad. Give me the money. You owe. Well, because the music gets you into your realm,
Yeah.
Everything I do has to do with music. Everything I do. I could be in a really bad mood and put on just certain old tunes. I don't listen to any new music. I probably never will.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to new tunes. I won't. I always go back to the old stuff. It makes me feel good.
Do you play music when you cook?
Yes, absolutely. Constantly. I dance around the kitchen. I'm a crazy, all by myself. Or I don't even care if people are here. I just dance and I laugh. And my husband goes, I could hear it out in the car when I pull up to the condo. I go, good. Was it good? I have on live, like minute by minute, And I have this live. And I'm like, come on, Michael's playing. Come on, Michael McDonald, you can't produce this stuff. You can't have this stuff anymore. It's what you feel. It's what you feel in your heart. That's what makes me happy. Good food, good music, good friends. I'm happy. But you'll never come to my house and hear anything new. You're going to hear oldies, so get over it. Yes, you drink a lot of good stuff, wine and stuff, and eat the best food in your life. And you laugh. I know it's a bitch, but you'll have to get over it. That's how we roll, man. You gotta have something fun in your life. Nobody does that anymore. We used to do that back east all the time. Nobody does that.
All the time. Gotta have fun.
Well, we had dinner parties every weekend at our house. Every weekend. Never failed. I mean, 20, 30 people.
So did I. I remember the good old days. It doesn't happen anymore.
No, it doesn't. Those days are over. And then they take you to your house and they have, like, takeout and stuff. I'm like, well, I thought you were going to cook, And the wife's like, oh, no. And they have, like, frozen meatballs. They put it in grape jelly one day. I told my friends that it was an appetizer, and I went, in a crock pot. And I looked at my husband and I went, just eat one. I'll pay you when we get home. Just eat it and shut up. Just do it. My husband's going, I'm not eating this crap, Dorrie. You eat it. I said, I'm going to make believe I eat it, Daniel. I'm a chick. I could do this. Just eat it and shut up. Say how lovely it is. Just do it. He goes, oh, this is ridiculous. Now I know how to feed my husband way before we go to dinner parties, Because I would feed him ahead of time. He'd be full and everything else. I'm like, if it's steak and lobster, you're fine. If not, well, you never knew what they were going to give you. Chili out of a can. I don't cook anything out of a can, so I wasn't brought up like that.
Right. Nothing's
out of a can. So, not to be a snob for all you people listening to us out there, I was raised to cook. I'm a cook. That's what I do. At restaurants, you had to cook. You don't take stuff out of a can. I just never did that. And these chicks have no clue what they're doing. And they put this stuff on the table for their husbands, and it's like, edible. I'm like, this is awful. And I can't believe it's not butter. If I ask one more friend put that on the table, I'm like, do you think it's real? Like, what's in it? I can't believe it's not. I want butter on my table. Unsalted, preferably. Thank you very much. Organic. Unsalted butter, but what is that? My grandparents didn't raise me on that.
Vegetable oil. Maybe 65% or something. I'm not sure.
This is crap.
It's up there. It
You're
is.
trying to save cholesterol and you're getting cancer. Come on, man.
Margarine?
Let's go with the butter.
Yeah, just say real butter. I use non-salted.
Oil too, though. But you know what, Justin? I don't know which one is even better or worse for you. The fat from the butter or the fat from the oil, the margarine.
Well, the whole cholesterol thing's a big scam that was started years ago.
Cholesterol. Your brain is 100% cholesterol.
Thank you.
Yes, and that's what doctors do. Bring it down. Yes, they dumb you down some more. Your brain is cholesterol. There's no higher or low. That's how your body acts. Some are higher, some are lower. It's just the way it is. Not the food intake. Some of it has to do with the food intake, yes, but it's how your brain operates. Some are higher or lower.
That's right.
They said to me, you're on the verge. I said, of what? Pills? You're on the verge of kissing my bleep. No, it ain't going to happen.
Well, now, wait a minute, Dorrie. Your test came back and your cholesterol level shows 300. We're going to have to get you on statins.
Oh, absolutely. I said, no, my husband went to the doctors, and he's the healthiest SOB I know. He takes more, you name it, he takes it. Garlic pills, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P. He takes it all. He never gets sick. I'm like, if I could take his blood, put it into me, if my blood is poisoned, as a blood disease as a baby, I'm like, I'll take, never get the flu in his life. He's 60. Never. Wow. He only sick when he came here once. We had the flu. I laughed my butt off. I had to. It was just fun for me.
I get really sick once a month.
Pictures and everything. He never gets sick. The cat never gets sick. But he's in the restaurant, so, these kids come in with so much crap, and he got sick one time in 60 years.
Wow.
He never missed a day of work, school, nothing in 60 years.
Wow.
Never. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's unnatural.
Me, I was over to Oregon, left or right, I got cancer. I was like, if I get cancer one more time, I'm really going to go to hell in this one.
I was always in very good health. I was always very athletic sports, just always very active, and still am. But I get sick once a month now, compared to 20 years ago, just maybe once a year.
You have babies, number one.
Yeah.
And number two, change is coming. You're going to take it. Your body will take once you're open, and that's what I was trying to talk about tonight. I might just do one page of the changes, but one of the changes is your health, that you will get sick, and you're taking on that energy. When your energy's open like that, you will take it on. From your babies, most likely it's from your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have kids, you're definitely going to take it. But my husband is a freak of nature, by the way. For anybody out there, I'm sick constantly. Well, I was. I'm not anymore, but I was always sick. No, big stuff, but cancer.
Whenever I bump into someone or talk to someone and they say, "Oh, just don't get too close. I have a flu." I got it.
When I go to the store, they just breathe all over me.
Right.
No, I am. I'm like a petri dish. I just stand there and go, "Go ahead, give it to me."
I don't know why I get sick all the time when I used to not. I mean, I remember just a few times when I was young, but really, from like 5 to 25, I was good to go.
Well,
Those were rough. Yeah.
I was sick as a baby until like 12 years old. Always, every day I was sick. Every school picture I was sick.
You were sick
every day. I had flash fevers, strep throat. I lost my appendix at 14. I just lost my gallbladder last year.
Where did you
twice.
From?
Pardon me?
Here?
I'm from Connecticut.
Connecticut, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but I had flash fevers constantly. So by the time that school took me downstairs to the principal's office, I was cool as a cucumber. I walked back upstairs, I had 106 fever.
Yeah.
And they were flash fevers. And my father had rheumatoid fevers. Yeah, it was the Italian. They screwed me all the way. I was screwed all the way from the get-go. My mother goes, "I just don't know where you're getting all those sickness, even cancer. It's not even our family." I said, "Ma, you married an Italian. Did you ever look into his background?" "No, but you shouldn't be getting sick." I said, "Mother, listen to me quite frankly again. He got sick. This is what the family has. I'm getting it. It's called genes. Hello?" Yeah, my mom will still not agree with it. "Oh, my God, you lost your gallbladder." I'm like, I was on I have a blood disease. It's called von Willebrand's disease. Romans get it all the time. Well, the fathers carry it, and usually the daughters get it. Came to me, skipped over my second half-sister, and then went to my third half-sister, because I am an only child. I had it first. Firstborn, got all the diseases, obviously. And I kept saying to my third sister, I said, "You got a blood disease." "No, there's no such thing." I'm like, "You have it." So I went into the blood doctor, and we're sitting there, and there's just no way my daughter has this von whatever it is. Now, mind you, it took them 30 years to figure it out because they put me on all these hormones. So when you're 40-something, you lose your gallbladder from all the hormones they took for the blood disease. Yeah, it was like a prerequisite. No one ever told me. Because your gallbladder can only handle so many hormones. And that's what shuts your gallbladder down. You can't handle.
To read those inserts.
Wow.
And
there was no inserts. They didn't back then. I was on birth control pills at 14 to stop bleeding. And, I was like, "Oh, it's a license to screw." You gotta love my mother. You really know my mother. I was gonna screw anything at 14, and you could hear, I'm in the waiting room, had my head between my legs going, "Oh my God, then that day cuddles." Jesus Christ coming up the cross. She's embarrassing me. I'm red. I'm so embarrassed. And you hear her and the gynecologist yelling at each other. And he said, your daughter's sick. She has a blood disease. There's something wrong. We just don't know what it is. "No, there's no way. She's going on this medication." He goes, "If not, she's going to die and bleed out. So you have a choice. So it's either this or not." And I will never forget that day. And then my mother had a party for me. I was a virgin. Huh? Who'd have thunk it? With all her friends, and they were drinking champagne. I was so embarrassed. Ma, seriously, you might as well just kill me now. This is what my mother used to do to me, you people out there. This is why I am messed up as I am today.
I think it's hilarious.
A big party. "She's a virgin. Oh, thank you, Jesus." Yeah, great. It was the last thing that was on my mind. I didn't know what was wrong with me,
Yeah.
I thought I was normal. No, I couldn't go to school. I'd pass out.
Wow.
Well, I have crazy glue all over my kitchen. So now my husband's accustomed to it because I'm a cook. So what do I use? Sharp knives constantly. If I just nick my finger, blood goes to the ceiling. I'll bleed out. And my husband just shakes. He can't.
You have good blood pressure.
Well, I have, my blood doesn't clot. So von Willebrand's, there's like 4 factors. I'm third. Fourth is a blood transfusion. Third is an IV. Second's like a shot in the coolie, your butt. Mm-hmm. And 1 is a nose spray. I couldn't get the nose spray or the butt shot. I had to get the IV.
Wow.
I'm like, what's the difference? IV or, transfusion really doesn't make a difference to you. But the medicine it burns you. You're on fire. I did that for years. And then one day I just said to my, my blood doctor, and I said, that's it. Go to hell. I'm done. You're going to die. You're going to need a blood transfusion. I said, so be it. I'm done with you and the crap you're giving me. It's synthetic, and I don't like it. I'm not doing this to my body anymore.
That's it.
Go to hell. And he said, he didn't know what to do. Yeah, I said, you're fired. I'm paying you $1,000 a month, so you're fired. And I'm fine.
My mother has, she complains about everything, but she really is in a lot of pain with a lot of her joints. She has fibromyalgia, and
oh yeah, we all have it. Yep.
Yeah, she's got some pain, and
birth control when she was younger. That's why.
Maybe.
Yeah, ask her.
So I will ask her actually. I'm gonna text her right now. Darn it! Oh, so she's been trying doctors for the last 5 years. So many of them. And one by one, she praises them to the highest before she goes to them. This one's seen them, this one's here, this one, the finest doctors in New York. And she is, just getting worse. So basically, nothing's happening, no relief, just temporary, maybe pain relief or swelling relief, just seriously temporary, maybe that day. But, shoot, Dorrie, I keep forgetting what I was saying. I think I'm just so tired. Oh. So, I've been telling her for years, for about 2 years to go and do this when I first really learned about it. I knew about it, but when I really learned is I told her that she has to go see a doctor or a physician that has hyperbaric chambers, like tanning booths, but you go in like a little tube.
Yes. Yep.
And you go in there for like a half hour or hour sessions, and it pretty much fixes a major 90% of the things that we hear of. And even if you go online and you go to the Mayo Clinic just built a hyperbaric area because it's for people with fibromyalgia, it's good because under that pressure and with that double the oxygen, it compresses all your red and white blood cells. It crushes them really, really tiny so they could get into places they normally can't get into to deliver oxygen. But
so think about birth control.
Right, and these little blood cells that are crushed down also have more oxygen in it than it would at normal size.
That's why you have to have fibromyalgia now. That's the new nickname they give it. But yeah, I have it.
You do?
Yeah, they said, take these pain pills.
Yeah, you should think about it. Because where I was going was, after 2 years of my mother just talking about doctor after doctor and medications not doing anything, after her third session, she said it put her back 10 years. And it's amazing what it could do. I mean, I'm not going to say it because I'm not a doctor, but it's looking pretty good for a fix for autism, and my goodness, so many other things.
It does, but it's like my husband hugs me. If he hugs me too tight, I get bruises everywhere. It looks like I was like a battered wife. I had friends like pick me up underneath the armpit, because I am tiny. So they think, little people, you'll pick them up, put them on your lap. Well, that's what my friends used to do to me. Their husbands always say, hey, Dorrie, like a little doll or something. I'm like, no, don't pick me up, man. Just don't touch me. And here I am. And they always wear, we know, white beaters in New York. They're T-shirts, Italians wear them. And yes, I know it's like disgruntled women, but that's what we used to call them. Guinea shirts, if you want to call that. And I had bruises all over my body. Legs. I was like, what the hell happened? Like, just my friends were hugging me. I'm like, look at me. I did look like I was beaten my whole life. I'm like, I bruised so easily. But fibromyalgia came in after the hormones. And it's from taking all those hormones, your body changes, and then you're in pain constantly. Just touching or like putting a finger on your arm hurts so bad. I could do it now. But I changed my thinking. I don't, like, go to that pain anymore. So I try to change it. But, I mean, it's part of what we're going through. It's more crap. The more the drugs they give you, the more crap you get after it. I got more diseases after the fact than I had when I started.
Right. There's no cure in medication.
Exactly.
You guys are right. The drugs are BS. And Joe, you're right. We're at the end of the show. But the oxygen is very, very important. And that's why it repairs the cells. And it's in plain sight. It's historical fact.
Thank you, everyone, if you can still hear me. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, John. Thanks, Joe.